Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So I'm really sorry, but the start of this video is going to have a lot of explaining in, but I also just wanted to preface this by saying to all of you who subscribed for Animal Crossing content, that will still be on my channel, but I've just decided that for today and for the next little while, I just wanted to play something a little bit different, but Animal Crossing content will still be here. So what are we doing today? I have decided to start my own Legacy series, which is essentially playing through 10 generations of The Sims 4. But instead of formatting it like a regular Let's Play, I've decided to format it like a diary, which will essentially be where I play through a week of the game in my own time, and then I will cut it together so that you only see the really interesting parts, because I feel like a lot of these playthroughs can be filled with quite a lot of kind of dead time. And I also wanted, because I am still going to be doing Animal Crossing content as well, and I know that that's what you have all probably subscribed for, I wanted to make sure that I didn't flood my channel with Sims videos. So that's what we're going to be doing for the moment. So what is this Legacy challenge all going to be about? Well, it's kind of a trial run for a challenge that I'm actually writing myself. I've taken inspiration from the Not So Berry Legacy challenge made by Little Simsy, if you're familiar with that, but it's going to be slightly less story based like her challenge was, and more focused on gameplay, as that's the part of the game that I enjoy most. So once I've finished writing it, I will be making a dedicated video to the entire thing. But I haven't finished writing it yet. I've only kind of figured out about 3 or 4 generations, and so I'm just kind of test running it right now. So because of that, if you see me doing anything that isn't kind of following traditional Legacy rules, that's why, because it's going to be my own challenge, and things are just going to be a little bit different. So on that, because it is a completely different challenge, I would love some feedback if you guys have any, or generally any ideas for the challenge itself, but also to do with how I structure these videos. So that could be the format of them, the editing, or whether you even want to see the series at all. But let's really quickly talk about our founder, just while we're kind of doing a bit of the, really starting off the series kind of stuff like fishing. So this is Chloe Winters. She loves the outdoors. She is also a dog lover, and she also has the maker trait. I started her off with the gardening aspiration, but will later change that to the master maker aspiration. As I wanted to explore that a little bit more, I just downloaded the Eco Lifestyle pack just before starting this, so quite a lot of this in the start is kind of me exploring that. So I have made nature-y Sims before, but I've never made a Sim quite like Chloe. I usually focus entirely on skill-based traits like, creative, or like music lover or whatever it is, I can't remember. But I decided to add a little bit more personality with her. Hence why we've got the dog lover trait and stuff like that. Okay, so with this entire challenge, I wanted to incorporate other popular challenges in the Sims community so that with each generation, the style of gameplay can change quite frequently. And that's mainly to try and keep it fresh for players who have been playing for quite a while. I'm pretty sure that I've clocked in about 2,000 hours in The Sims 4 so far, so for me it can get stale quite quick, hence why I'm trying to change it up. So let's really quickly run through what's going down in this first generation. So I thought it would be the best time to incorporate the Rags to Riches challenge, which is one of my personal favourites and one challenge which I come back to time and time again. So what happens in this challenge is you start at the absolute bottom with 0 simoleons and on an empty lot. I've decided that for my version of the challenge, you can start on any lot that you want, so long as it's empty, meaning that you can bulldoze any lot that you want. I decided to pick one in Windenburg, as Windenburg is my absolute favourite world, so that's where we're starting out this challenge. Because you're essentially homeless, you can't have a job during this generation. You can only make money through things you find or make yourself. and trying to inject a little bit of realism here. And because you are homeless, and it just wouldn't really make sense, for this first generation, you should avoid using skills which require electricity to use, such as writing, because that needs a computer. So the key here is going to be using skills like gardening or flower arranging to make money, or even less conventional methods of money making, such as breeding and selling puppies or kittens, for example. And speaking of our furry little friends, you must adopt a stray dog during this first generation to accompany you on your new generation, if you have pets installed, that is. So to make this enjoyable for myself, I actually installed the Playable Pets mod, which is an absolute game changer. I usually never use pets in this game anymore, especially dogs, because I find them so annoying to look after, honestly, because you can't see specifically their needs, and I'm kind of a bit of a control freak in this game, honestly. I like to really micromanage my Sims. I just never really have them, but with this mod, I was actually really enjoying having a pet again, so this will definitely be staying in my game forever. As an advanced starting option for this challenge, you should also use the off-the-grid lot trait. Again, this is completely optional. If this is something you don't want to do, you don't have to. The point of this generation challenge is to have fun with the game, so the rules can be bent. If you don't like one, or if one is inhibiting how much fun you're having with the game, get rid of it. Don't be using it. So this was actually the first time that I'd used the off-the-grid lot trait, and in combination with the energy and power systems introduced with Eco Lifestyle, I actually found it pretty challenging and really fresh. So you may turn off the off-the-grid lot trait and begin using skills which require electricity once you've built a house or have a lot worth 20,000 simoleons, which is approximately the price of a regular starter home. So the ultimate goal of this first generation is to build a home worth 50,000 simoleons. It's really to build a solid foundation for the generations to come. An additional optional goal is kind of later in the generation, and that is for you to max your toddler's skills as well as their mental skill as a child. This will set you up really well for generation 2. I will have all the rules as well as any generic ones which apply to this first generation listed down below. Okay, so while I've been explaining all of that, we've just been doing a lot of the standard Start of Rags to Riches challenges stuff. So we've been exploring our surroundings, collecting stuff, we've made ourselves a little garden, we've done lots of fishing, and just generally kind of getting ourselves established. I had to put on the dog hangout lot trait, which means that we've had lots of stray doggies coming to visit us. I thought that Speckles was very cute, which is the dog that we were just playing with then, and so we eventually do invite him to our household. But for now, we are travelling over to the world of Evergreen Harbour to this little community lot, where we've got big garbage cans and a recycling machine to get some of the bits and pieces that you need for making candles, which is part of the fabrication skill and which I wanted to use to start making us some money. One annoying thing that I found with this lot is the fact that random people just came up only to use the 2 items on this lot just like me, which meant that I kind of had to keep kicking them off it or waiting for them to be done using the object, which I found really irritating as I just wanted to get my stuff and leave. Okay, so then when we got home, we finished befriending Speckles enough so that we could actually adopt him and move him into our household, which was really fun. I think he's really cute, and yeah, I'm just so happy that we've got the Playable Pets mod to make this a much more enjoyable experience. And so with that, we then decided to buy lots of new little pet things for him, so a bowl, a ball, and then also a little bed for him too. We then moved on to tend our garden, and we also tried our hand at making some new candles with the bits and pieces that we gathered at the community lot yesterday. I had lots of fun trying this out, and throughout this challenge I'm going to really enjoy giving this a go and, you know, getting to know this skill a bit more. But one thing that I found so far is that the skill moves incredibly slowly. by the end of the first week, had not even moved out of level 1 just through making candles, which I know there are other ways to level up the skill, but we're kind of inhibited by that with the off-the-grid lot trait. But we'll explore that eventually. But, it's perhaps not even necessarily a bad thing that the skill is kind of slow to level, because, The Sims 4 could always do with a bit more challenge. Okay, so we rounded out the day by just doing some more chore kind of things like fishing. We actually just leveled up our skill, a bit more collecting and some more selling, just trying to make some more money. So after we finished expanding the garden, we decided to spend a bit more time with Speckles, train him up. We actually taught him how to sit with this one, and in a minute we'll be building a little outdoor shower, because maintaining hygiene has been one of the biggest challenges so far. We've got the bushes hidden about Windenburg, which has made, sorting out your wee need much more easier. But then maintaining hygiene has been really difficult. So with the off-the-grid lot trait, we are able to buy the little shower that came with University Life. Is it called University Life? I'm not sure. Anyway, so we made that little shower, and then the next day we decided to come back to the community lot in Evergreen Harbour to do some more recycling. Weirdly enough, Father Winter showed up, which, if that does not highlight one of the flaws of The Sims 4, I do not know what does. It's not even been winter yet. This was actually a really strange event that I've never seen before. I got a call offering me some inheritance. The only stipulation for me getting it was the fact that I had to ask what the conditions were. And so then, with that, we got 2,500 simoleons, which then we ran straight back home with, and built our first actual shelter. I decided to model it off of a shipping container home. It's been a dream of mine to have one of those in real life, but I doubt I'm anywhere near that yet. And it's also incorporating a lot of the new to me, build objects from Eco Lifestyle, which are all really cute and actually really affordable, which if this were real life, I would not be able to afford such massive windows straight away. So we're kind of taking our first steps of actual progress now, in terms of getting shelter and generally getting ourselves established in this challenge. We also treated ourselves to an actual toilet and sink so that we didn't keep having to run around the world to find bushes to use to fulfill those needs. So really did feel like a level up. We also decided to buy a water collector. Because of the new utility items that we'd bought, I just thought it'd make a bit more sense to try and fulfill our need to now have water in supply. Then we also went back to the community lot once again to do some more digging and dumpster diving and a bit more recycling, and we made a bit of a friend out of Tina Tinker just there. She'll be playing a bit more of a bigger role later in this episode. Then we just did a bit more candle making, a bit more tending the garden, just kind of a lot of chore-based stuff. Again, as is quite typical at the start of these challenges, it's just trying to get yourself established, get some coins in your pocket so that then the fun can really begin later on. We also took some very cute pictures of Speckles having a little nap over here, because one of the important things to be doing during this challenge is to be taking pictures and generally keeping mementos of things that have happened during your main Sim's life for each generation. Okay, so then Tina Tinker actually showed up at our house. She said that she had some kind of invention to show us, but typical, by the time I actually managed to run all the way home from wherever I was fishing or something, she just kind of bounced. So we'll never find out what that invention actually was. So later that night, Tina Tinka continued to give us some strange mixed messages because she called us and invited us out to ladies' night at this random little bar in the middle of Glimmerbrook, which was actually kind of fun. We took some cute pictures together, we had some wine, we had some food, we had a good time. Here was me thinking that we'd come out here, maybe meet a man. Later to remember that it was girls' night, so the chances of that were limited at best. We also played some good old musical chairs while trying to eat and drink our food, and we also made a bit of a friend out of Lilith Pleasant, which was quite fun. I've never really seen her wandering about in my world before, so that was very fun. Octavia Moon, the world famous celebrity, also turned up at this tiny little bar, which she was probably lost, but she was a cause for quite a lot of disruption during the night. So Tina's sister had also turned out, and it looked like she'd had a bit too much of a good time because she did, pass out on the floor face down. So yeah, probably was a bit of a heavy one for her. But then we got back feeling in a good jolly mood and decided to do some midnight home renovations. So I bought a kitchen counter and a cute barbecue, which correlates with the off the grid lot trait, and I thought would just be nice to have something to eat other than mushrooms and carrots, because that's basically what I've been living on up until this point. We also buy this really cute little wall hanging shelving unit to display some of our pictures that we'd taken throughout this generation so far, and we also got a little gas lamp, which I thought was really cute. So the next day we woke up with probably a bit of a headache, feeling a bit tender from the night before, but we still had jobs to do. We had to sort out the garden, we had plenty of flowers, lots of things were luckily in season because it is spring, so that was good. We had to do a bit of weeding, lots of harvesting, but hey, we've got to do what it takes to get the money. We've got a goal in mind here, people. So then we decided to go down and do a bit of fishing to try and catch a fish to cook up on our new barbecue, have a bit of a celebratory meal for making it this far. But before we could get too far with that, we actually got a phone call from Lilith, who we met last night, and she invited us around to her house in the university town, which was really cute. We also got to see her sister there. And we weren't actually here for long before we got a message about the romance festival happening, even though Love Day was yesterday. So, looks like there was some kind of calendar scheduling issues there. But it didn't matter. We decided to head on over to the romance festival together. So once we were here, we decided to pick some flowers in the cute little free garden boxes, and we also bought a little snow globe just to commemorate the occasion. Here was me just looking around a bit more to try and find a man. We didn't find one, but we decided to consult the romance guru on what our future may have looked like. Apparently our romantic future is bleak, so we decided to go home dejected and a bit sad. But that's that for this episode. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you have any kind of suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you again soon.